What's up? Welcome to another episode of this beautiful show called One Piece. It's season 1, episode 4. They got 2 left, guys, 2 left, and I'm going to sleep after. We've been filming for an hour and a half, holy shit. So this is a super good episode. Season 1, episode 4 is the strongest of the 4. There's not a single episode I didn't like so far. Episode 1 was a bit, episode 4, we finally get to see the story. So this is the starting point of the first episode, the first chapter in the manga. So we get to see Shanks. We get to meet Shanks, which was the hero of Luffy. We get to see Luffy how he ate that devil fruit. We get to see why he wants to become such a pirate. So Luffy is part of a small town. The coolest people he knows are Shanks and his pirates, and every time they come by, they say, "Yo, I want to be part of your crew. I want to be part of your crew. I want to be part of your crew." And Shanks like, "Nah, you're too young. You're too young." Shanks is actually a really good person. He's one of Luffy's best friends, and Shanks is like, "Yo, my pirates." And it's funny because when we meet Shanks, we don't realize how strong he is. We don't realize that he's one of the 40 uncles. Oops, spoiler. And yeah, Shank is like, "Yo, you're too young." So he come back from one of his journey, and he brings out devil fruit. So then we learn that Luffy eat the devil fruit because he's broke, and he see the food, and he's hungry. So he eats the fruit. It's like, "Yo, it is disgusting." And then him and Shanks get into battle because there's a bunch of mountain bound bandits, and they want to go to the bar, and they're like, "Yo, we want alcohol." And Shank and his crew, they drink a lot, so they're like, "Yo, sorry, we're out of alcohol." So the mountain bandits are like, they humiliate Shanks. They do humiliate Shanks, and the first bad guy. So after that, we see Shank that's laughing. In We know he's laughing because they're so strong. Shank is so strong, like doesn't really care about that, right? And then and then Luffy's like, "Yo, nah, have pride, have fuck them," right? And then Shanks was trying to explain. He grabs Luffy's arm, and Luffy becomes rubber, so it keeps on expanding. And that's when we learn his power. He gets rubber power. Later on, we see the mountain bandit coming back to insult Shanks, but Shanks isn't there. So Luffy defends Shanks because he's their friend, and Luffy cares about Shanks. And the mountain bandits take him to the sea. We learn that the devil fruit it cannot go in the sea, so it gets thrown into the water, and and Shanks come to rescue him. In doing so, Shanks loses an arm, but it's okay because he cares about Luffy. And when they leave, this time it's for good, and he gives Luffy the straw hat. And we know that Luffy's most precious possession is his straw hat. We don't know what it represents. We now know it's about the friendship with Shanks. This one is such a good episode because this is the. I wanted this to be the first episode. I would have been happy if there was the first episode. We know the origin story of Luffy. We know the origin story of why he wants to become a pirate. There's so many undertone in this episode. The motivation, what his power came from, why he wants to be the king of the pirates because of the story that Shanks told him. So another spoiler. This one is a big one. We did learn that Shanks was a member of Goldie Roger. Who's Goldie Roger? Goldie Roger is the person that that sacrificed himself for the era of piracy. So since this is the first episode, it's a good time to talk about Goldie Roger. Goldie Roger was a pirate who got every treasure. He was the most famous pirates, and he had his treasure all in one place. So one time, he got caught by the government, and he said to the pirate, "It's like, yo, if you want my treasure, go and get it. It's somewhere in this world." And this is why so many people became pirates, right? So we learned that since Shanks respected Goldie, he probably told story of Goldie Roger to Luffy, and Luffy admired Shanks. And since Shanks admired Goldie Roger, Luffy by interim or by proxy, worship Goldie. And yeah, that's basically it. That's the fourth episode. That's the fifth. I don't know.